Welcome everybody to a look at another Warner Brothers Archive Collection release, and it is 1950s Stage Fright. So this is directed by the ever so great Alfred Hitchcock, who I've seen 24 other films from. Favourites being the likes of Psycho, Rear Window and North by Northwest. Honestly could not pick one out between the three of those, as they are all 5-star excellent films. This clocks in at 110 minutes long. It's a mix of the film noir and thriller genres. Stars the likes of Jane Wyman, who was in the likes of Magnificent Obsession and All That Heaven Allows. Both of those also excellent 50s films, as well as in the prior decade being in The Lost Weekend. Also stars Marlene Dietrich, who was in 20 other films that I've seen her from. But relatively recent favourites have been the likes of No Highway in the Sky and The Song of Songs. And finally, Alistair Sim, who was in the likes of Green for Danger and Inspector Calls, The Green Man and Cottage to Let. So, a struggling actress tries to help a friend prove his innocence when he's accused of murdering the husband of a high society entertainer that he's having an affair with. So, compared to other Hitchcock films from the 50s, this isn't as great as the best of his efforts from that period, as this definitely feels more of an effort from the prior decade, in particular when it comes to the general lack of energy to the film. You know, North by Northwest and Rear Window generally have quite a lot of energy behind them, whereas this does somewhat stumble between scene to scene, but it does still have reasonably good pacing to it. Um, and despite it not being all that well known or well regarded in comparison to those 50s effort, it's still overall a well made film. The cast is also really good, with Marlene Dietrich once again being the highlight of the film that she's in. It is has superb cinematography, the plot is engrossing, there are several tense scenes, and although the finale doesn't quite rival the best that Hitchcock had to offer, it is still well executed. So yeah, overall a perfectly good effort. But if you're expecting it to be a 5-star classic like North by Northwest or Rear Window, um, then you're going to be a little bit disappointed. But it's definitely one of his better earlier efforts. There's very few that I'd say that are better than this one before this. The Lady Vanishes is pretty great, and there's a couple of others from the 40s that are also excellent that I've seen. Granted, I've not seen all of his films, but still, it's still a pretty great early effort from him. But obviously, throughout the 50s, he would develop his style into a lot more, give it a lot more urgency, a lot more tension, a lot more spectacle. You know, you look at North by Northwest with that plane scene, for instance, and yeah, there's nothing quite like that in this. But the finale is decent enough, and yeah, once again, the transfer for these Warner Brothers Archive Collection Blu-ray does look pretty good. No issues with the sound either. There's not as many special features though on this as there were with Each Dawn I Die. That had about 7 or 8 extras on that. This only has a couple, but they are two decent ones. We've got Making of Documentary, Hitchcock and Stage Fright, and then a theatrical trailer as well. So it's a solid 4-star out of 5 film for me. I can see why some people might rate it a little bit lower, especially again when you compare it to his other efforts from the same decade. But overall, a pretty good one, and which is mostly due to the direction and due to the cast, which, yeah, as per usual when it comes to a Hitchcock film in the 50s, his cast choices were just at the top of the line, and this is no different to that. So, yeah, so overall, a pretty good film, and definitely one of the better films in the archive collection that I've gotten so far. Nonetheless, so thank you for watching. If you have seen this film before, I'd like to hear your thoughts on it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.